All right. Just got through ending my stream, and I was ending my stream because I was specifically going to address this point. Somebody tipped me off in the stream and said, go look at Ninja's. They just knew that it was going to make me feel some kind of way. Go look at Ninja's last post. And I was like, okay. And I looked at it, and I cannot believe this. I can't believe it. But a lot of people are being open with the tyrannical BS that they want. And they want to force their morality and all of this stuff on other individuals, mainly because they are scared of this virus. And they feel as if the ends justifies the means. So never mind the agency that you have. We're entering this sort of weird, odd era where you are being basically rid of agency because they feel as if like a sickness is a brand new thing, right? Even though it's not a brand new thing, they look at it as if a sickness is a brand new thing. So if you go out and you end up getting someone else sick, which again isn't new, even if you're, let's say, asymptomatic, for example, you are a problem and you should be basically met with the force by way of the state. We know that COVID-19 is an infectious sickness, but it's not. What you guys are griping about isn't necessarily new, and that is you could possibly get someone sick with it. That is a risk that has been assumed long before this virus was a thing, and is going to be assumed long after it. You can spread a virus, some sort of bacteria or something that doesn't really impact you, but it does impact someone else more severely because of their health conditions and statuses. And because we know this tends to hospitalize or more so kill off people that are of a certain age demographic and a certain health demographic, we know that that's the case. There's a lot of people that walk around, the stories that are I know my first guy that I've now known that had COVID-19. He's only 2 years older than me, so he's like 32. He had it and he's fine. Just a very, very mild form. It's like, I'm all right. That's just what it was. So he stayed at his house, chilled out like he would with any other sickness, and he went about his business after that. But some people that may get more severely hurt, they look at this and they say, okay, bet. There are people that may get sick, therefore you have to wear a mask. You have to, you can't go do certain things in businesses unless it's rioting and going to pride parades or protests or what have you. Then it's all good. You can do that. It's fine. Nobody cares. They can make the rules up. They do that. Eddie Guerrero, a lot of cheat still. That's what they do. Rigged game, baby. But let's get into it real quick. So this is what he says. Unfortunately, some Americans don't give a shit about wearing a mask in public because they have a choice to not to. That's true. That's part of agency. That's part of being a human being, is that if you do not want to wear something that requires you to breathe in your own stuffs, then you don't have to do that. And unfortunately, there are places that are requiring you to do it. That's, again, tyrannical. That should not happen under any circumstance. You're basically saying, and you got to understand the logical conclusion of this, is that you're willing to send the police on people and the state, the federal agents, state agents, local agents, law enforcement officers to force people to put stuff on their face. That is insane. If a private business wants to do that, that's fine. They're still right to do that. I don't have to like it. I don't have to shop there. If they want to require me, though, that's their rules they can set up on their property. But this is not what he's advocating. This isn't what most people are advocating. They're advocating that people be mandated. They don't have the choice. This is why I say I don't care what side you are on the whole virus, or more so the mask thing, whether you personally wear them or not. You are unjustified if you want to try to force everybody else to do so. That is not right. Period. I don't care where you're at. And you should, if you are consistent on anything, then you should understand that that's rightful, in the sense that people have the right to make that decision. He says, and unfortunately, we are breaking record numbers every day of COVID cases, which doesn't really say anything, by the way. If you the testing has ramped up. There was never to be assumed that nobody would ever catch this virus. It is a pandemic after all. And if it's as infectious as you say, I mean, it may be even debatable if this mask thing is even working, but we'll say that for a different video. I don't want to go too much into that. Nonetheless, it's not saying anything because more people are going to get tested and more people are going to get it. That's just what's going to happen. You got to this is why I said in my last video, if you were going to focus on people, you should have focused on the people that were most vulnerable, not the people that are like healthy guys, like my age and Ninja's age. And by the way, for guys that don't know who Ninja is a blue-haired streamer. Has made millions upon millions of dollars, and now he's using this by being a very good gamer and a personality, and now he is now lecturing people on who should wear masks. This is what I keep telling you, my fellow libertarians. I tell you, you ridiculous conservatives, that having the best ideas isn't on your side. This is the type of people with influence and power that they have on their side. You can think Ninja is the goofiest person in the world. You're crazy if you don't think that he's being influential when he does that. This is a cultural thing. Right. And this is how the left wins, because they have top to bottom, your entertainers. And I'm not saying that the mask thing is specifically a leftist thing. I'm just kind of using that as an example. That's how they are able to influence a lot of individuals. And this is why I stopped my stream to do this video, because I feel like these guys have to be met head on. And he says the first bit was like, whatever. There's always going to be those people that think, OK, the mask makes you basically invulnerable. If you turn into Scorpion, or Sub-Zero, Reptile, or Noob Saibot, or Smoke, or whatever. If you decide Rain Ermac, who else am I missing? Reptile. I said Reptile, right? Who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody else. I think I got everybody. I think I got pretty much all of the color swapped, palette swap versions of I feel like I'm missing somebody though. I don't know. Either way, Noob Saibot was my guy, by the way. But if you don't go out looking like those guys, then you are killing other people. You are going to get other. So they look at the rise. No, it's because people are not wearing masks. It's crazy how he comes to that conclusion, right? Not anything else. It's just, the mask. Rising numbers, mask. Okay. Got some positive, a little uptick in confirmed positive cases, right? Now it's 10%. And before it was 9%. It's because you guys aren't wearing those damn masks. Government, and the last part is what got me and why I wanted to make this video. Government, local, and federal need to crack down on no maskers to save lives. This man has gotten on Twitter. He has X amount of millions of people, for 6 million people, and has told and used his influence, all these youngsters that look at him, hey, we need to force the government to force you guys, now we need to force go. We need to have the government force these non-maskers, right? That's almost a slur. No, you no masker. What you call me? You no masker. That where we're at now? To save lives. So, hey, you guys, he's willing to send the state on you to crack down, right? On you guys that are out there that are not wearing a mask. That's insane, man. Like, it's not even draconian. Like, it's like insane, tyrannical. Like, it's like you are saying you want the state to force people to cover their face. And I know there's going to be those weirdos. Oh, you wear pants. You wear pants. Why wouldn't you wear a mask? Dude, me wearing pants or a shirt ain't the same damn thing as me wearing something that covers where I breathe. Human beings aren't meant to live like that, man. Me covered my man parts ain't the same. Nonetheless, it's not like we're against, certainly those of us that are for liberty, against private businesses. We may not agree with them doing it individually, but we're not against private businesses having their own policies where they say, if you are going to shop here, you have to wear a mask. Okay? If that's the way that they want to operate, I may not want to shop there, and I'm probably not going to shop there. However, that is one thing, and they have the right to do. What you don't have the right to do is just say, okay, anybody that's out and about has to wear a mask. It's insane. That's insane. And he's talking about individuals. He says no maskers. He's talking specifically about individuals. So any individual not wearing a mask he thinks that the state should be used to crack down on that. Ninja, go screw yourself. Straight up. And I hate it that you're using your platform in order to spread this bull crap. But what I particularly take issue with is that last sentence, which you are basically saying that you are willing to use acts of aggression upon peaceful people. Otherwise, I'm willing to bet Ninja was one of those. I don't know. I can't confirm. Probably one of those talking about police brutality and all sorts of things, right? Way to encourage a conflict right there. Nonetheless, you don't have right to do that. No, well, you can. I guess you can say whatever it is you want, but what the state is more so what I'm referring to. You don't get to force people to put on masks because you think that it's making people safe. It's just not what you get to do. And this isn't, you have a right to get, you don't have a right to get nobody sick. Again, this is not anything that started with COVID-19. Okay? So if you want to go around the rest of your life, because to protect yourself from anything, we should all just wear masks because, believe it or not, there are sicknesses, and there are sicknesses that don't have vaccines, by the way, coronaviruses as well, that can cause issues. If the wrong person gets them, trigger some sort of deal. People get viral pneumonia all the time. There is no cure for viral pneumonia. If it is not associated with influenza, they'd have no cure for that. It has to run its course. And that's existed long before COVID-19, or before you properly identified it as, or not properly, or whatever, before you identified it as what it was. That is not a new thing, but we never assumed that if people went out and didn't wear a mask during the flu season that it was the case, or we didn't wear a mask. It doesn't have to be the flu season, any season, because anybody can get sick at any time. We never assume, okay, you should wear a mask, and if you don't wear a mask, you're going to literally kill people. You're a murderer. But for whatever reason, we're using bad arguments. They're using bad arguments to try to justify this insanity. Wear your mask if it makes you feel safe, but you don't get to use the state to force people to do that. But I think that's what we're getting to, because there's a lot of people that are hopping on that bandwagon. Unbelievable, though. The fact that last, no crackdown on no maskers. Like, what? I feel like that should make you feel some kind of way, even if you are a guy that chooses to be cautious as you like and wear a mask. You have to have an issue with that. If you're any type of consistency when it comes to freedom, you have to have an issue with that. That there are people out there that are advocating, that are in positions of power, not just him. I'm talking about actual people, like politicians and so forth, advocating that you be forced. And what that means is that if you are not wearing a mask, let's be clear, let's not talk around this. If you are not wearing a mask, the state or the feds send actual people with guns to ensure that you have that. And if you don't and you choose to resist, they would beat you. They stump a mud hole in you. That's what it's boiled down to. And it's just like, funny, going through these same kind of arguments that I heard with the bump stock. Why would you need a bump stock, even though it's much bigger than a bump stock? Man, watch my video on that. It's far more dangerous than that. Instead of just taking a position of liberty, they say, why would you need that? And similar thing. It's not necessarily why would you need it. It's more so, why wouldn't you just wear a mask? It's just a mask. That's what they say. It's just a mask. Just do it, right? Just fall in line. It's not that big of a deal. But it's a big enough deal for you to want to send the state on someone to crack down, because not enough people are doing what you think they should be doing. These people are tyrants, and we need to call them what exactly they are. Period.